real time scenes, but they don't have to be. It can
Mhm.
be one scene real time. You can jump around, whatever you want to do, really.
Okay. Okay,
Uh,
cool.
I just I just got a dog on Saturday, so I've got my dogs hanging out here.
So
So
is mine right here.
what kind of dog do you have?
He's a little terrier mix. I'll move my camera so you can see. He's pretty cute though. This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's his
Maybe don't
name?
jingle
Oh, look
this.
at that cutie.
That's Caesar, Emperor
Oh,
of my life.
nice,
Yeah.
Caesar.
Have you named yours yet?
Yeah, her name's Tessa. How about that? She was a rescue.
It's a very regal name.
I know. I mean, her name was Tara,
Hmm.
and then my significant other's daughter was really interested in renaming her to Tessa. So it was like, all right, I mean, it doesn't really, I don't think it really matters in the beginning, and it's a pretty close name to Tara anyway. So far so good.
Nice. Well, congrats. Welcome to the dog parent family.
Well, thank you. I had a dog up until like maybe 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and then I think because of what's happening with COVID and everything, I think the to get another being in the house was pretty exciting. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, Caesar has been such a lifeline this year for sure. Yeah.
um, well, I will. Let's see. I'll tell you how many suggestions we got, and then you just pick one, and you pick a number. I'll tell you what it corresponds to, and then we just go.
All right, let's do it.
Pick a number. Ooh, pick a number between 1 and 34.
1 and 34, so many.
That's right.
I'll pick lucky number 23.
All right, 23. Let's see. I'm gonna go backwards. 34, 3, 2, 1, 30, 29, 6, 5, 2, 4. Did you say 23?
Yeah, 23.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this comes from Margot Escott. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and the suggestion is I've got a secret.
Oh.
Juicy.
Oh, Margot, thank you.
Thanks, Margot.
Thank you. I love it here at the duck pond.
It's great, right? It's
It's
just
my
so
favorite
relaxing.
place that we go, Daniel.
It's relaxing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there are so many ducks. It's springtime, so I guess there are going to be more ducks during the spring. Are there? I mean, right? I think they hibernate. I'm assuming they hibernate during the winter. I don't know, Jen. That's what I think.
Well, Daniel, they do some, well, they don't hibernate. They fly away. They fly south if they fly south.
Right.
Or,
Right.
they just stay. Some just stay because they're, crotchety and they're not into it anymore. So,
It's so funny. It's like, yeah, I think bears hibernate. Ducks
yeah.
migrate, right? Migrate. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can't just like feed them bread anymore. That's why I brought the bird seed is that, like cuz the bread can mold in the water
Yeah.
with their tum-tums. So,
Oh, there's
yeah.
nothing worse, right?
Yeah, we got to look out for them, Dan. We got to look out. You know.
Uh, God, it's so peaceful here.
Yeah. It's almost like it's almost like it's just for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, I like that. That's just for us.
Yeah. I feel so safe with you, Daniel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
feel so safe every time I'm around you. I just feel like, wow, Daniel's got my back. He's the best neighbor a girl could ask for.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. When you moved in upstairs, I thought, oh, I hope he doesn't have like lots of parties or, go stomping around in the morning or throwing dog balls against the wall. And
No,
you're just like the best.
I'm pretty quiet. I'm mostly a homebody.
Yeah.
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 I guess maybe, maybe it's I spent my youth doing a lot of crazy things, so I just want to chill out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, whatever the reason, it makes me feel really safe, and I just want you to know that because I don't feel safe around a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it's dangerous. The
Yeah.
world's dangerous.
People are scary.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know. They say you can't judge a book by its cover, and you just don't know what's inside, right?
Yeah. My mom says I watch too many Hallmark movies, and that's why I'm so fearful of the world. But, I think there is a certain amount of Hallmark that's exactly correct, and that's how much I watch. So
Hmm.
take that,
What's
mom.
what's your favorite one? Like, if you had to pick one Hallmark movie that you would watch, what would be it? What's like if you could only pick one and you would watch that the rest of your life? Which one?
It's got to be Christmas at Dandelion Way.
Oh,
Yeah, it's about.
yes.
Yeah, you've seen it. You know it.
Candace Cameron Bure's best role by far,
Oh my,
bar none.
I know. And when Neil Tomlinson makes that cameo appearance, I think to myself, "Oh my God, this is the best moment of my life." When he just like pops up in that market, that
Yeah,
Christmas market.
yeah.
Jeez,
Uh, I I kind of know that movie. Can I? Well, can I tell you something?
please,
I wrote that movie.
Daniel.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Daniel Webbing. That's me. That's my. I mean, that's my nom de plume. But yeah, my mother's maiden name was Webbing, and so That's me. I wrote it. I wrote it, and I. That's mine. Yeah, I wrote that movie.
Daniel,
Yes.
that's my favorite Hallmark movie.
I was asking that, like, part of me was hoping you would say it was that one, but like partly I just was very interested in what you thought. But yeah, that I wrote it. I was 21. It was the first screenplay I ever sold.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I need. Can I have some of those? Can I have some of those seeds? I'm out.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just need to.
There, there you go.
I need
Hey,
to eat some ducks.
yeah.
I'm just feeling a little. Whew, I'm just
What?
Daniel. I just feel like if I
Yeah.
had known, if I had known, I would have. I don't know what I would have done differently, but I feel like I would have done stuff differently.
Like
Maybe I would have
what?
like brought you cookies when you moved in or something.
Well, I don't usually like to tell people. Like, first off, a lot of my friends make fun of me, which I don't care, but they
Yeah.
do. And I'm like, it's a living, right? It's a living. I'm very proud of the work I do. Second, like, I don't want people to judge me for that. I want them to just judge me for me.
Daniel, I I just want you to know that that script matters to me and that movie mattered to me. And
What?
so I just want you to know that what you do matters.
R- Really?
Yeah.
Nobody ever said that to me. Nobody ever said what I do matters. They a lot of times they make fun of it.
No,
Wow.
no. It made me feel connected to people when I was feeling isolated
Yeah.
and scared. And every year that it comes on, I watch it and I cry and I think
Oh,
back on that moment and how it got me through that. And I am
oh,
so grateful.
my goodness. Thank you.
And I really wish I'd bought you or made you some cookies.
Made or bought. I
Made,
bet.
well, you know,
Bought the ingredients to make cookies.
yeah. Do you eat cookies?
That I pretty much exclusively right now. I'm in a big sugar phase, and I'm trying not to. But like, I just got a ton of Girl Scout cookies. My niece was selling Girl Scout cookies, so I ordered a whole bunch, and I'm going through them. I just had a whole box of Trefoils myself. So yeah, I love cookies.
I would have thought you were a thin mints sort of guy.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love. Can I rank my Girl Scout cookie? My favorite ones.
Do it, Daniel, fast
Are
as you can.
First off, Thin Mints, I could put them in the freezer. I've got 3 sleeves in the freezer. I like, Do-si-dos, which are the peanut butter ones. I really love those. The Trifos are really good. And then they have a s'more cookie that it's made my top 4 right now. It's really good. But yeah, I just love them. I love any Girl Scout I love any cookie
Shred?
in general. Yeah,
Shred.
top 5.
Wow. Yeah, the Thin Mints in a freezer is a very controversial move, I know, but I support it.
Can
It's like
I
it's like ice cream.
can I uh, can I share a secret with you?
What? I thought you already did. That you were the
Right.
writer of Christmas So Dandelion Way. But yes, pour your heart out, Daniel, please.
Um, I brought some Thin Mints if you wanna have some.
I would love to have Thin Mints with you.
Have some Thin Mints.
Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, it's funny, I talked to you, Jen, and it's like, I don't feel embarrassed about who I am. And that's a unique thing. That's a unique position you put people in, is that they feel comfortable telling you and you won't judge them. It's like my grandpa used to say, those who matter, those who mind, no, those who matter don't mind. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't. I think that's what he said. But what I got from it was that the right people aren't going to judge you.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like you've ever judged me in any way. And I don't think that would have changed, but I just thought you should know.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Wow. Who knew that the duck pond would be such a moving place?
I didn't know.
I didn't know either. But I feel like, if we were kids, this would be like our secret spot.
Yeah.
You know how kids just love having secret spots and like places that are all their own because they don't have their own place? And this would be our secret spot.
Why do we, as adults, why do we give that up? Why do we give up secret spots? Why do we give up that sense of joy and amusement and a place you can go and just be like, why? I guess it's we put other things in front as priorities.
Yeah, we are too busy working or worrying about the fact that we don't sleep or going to school or trying to maintain complex relationships. And
Yeah.
then suddenly we just forget about having a secret spot all our own or with somebody else.
Can I can I share one more secret with you?
Yeah.
I have a working title of a film I'm working on that I'm writing called All Our Own, and it's about a secret spot. And it's
Stop it.
no, and it's based on us coming meeting under very unusual circumstances and then going somewhere and finding out that that's the place they've always wanted to be. Yeah.
Can I ask who do you envision playing me?
Well, there are two actresses in mind. One is Candace Cameron Bure. I mean, she's kind of under
Top
contract
notch.
with Hallmark.
Yeah, top notch.
And the other, Liv Tyler.
Yeah, I am Arwen.
Yeah.
Daniel, I feel so seen right now. And I want you to know something.
Yeah.
I never feel like that.
Really?
No. Sometimes I think there's something wrong with me because I never really feel like that. But I feel like that with you here at our secret spot.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Jen? Let's just sit here for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I like that.
See?
Oh, fake.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that was like the most fun.
You're so delightful. That was so.
You are. I loved it. I loved every second. And I want to know a whole bunch of things. I want to know how you got into improv. Like, what made you start?
Okay, so my background is in classical music, actually.
Okay.
I have a bachelor's and a master's in classical voice with an emphasis in opera. And I found improv my final semester of graduate school. A friend of mine was doing it. She still does it, and she's fantastic. You should play with her. Her name's Kiki Mickelson. She's in
Oh,
New York City.
love it.
Recommend 10 out of 10. And I went and saw her do a show, and it just sort of like changed the trajectory of my life. And I
Yep.
was I need a space like that because classical music, I love it so much. Oh, it's part of me. But it is very much about excellence and precision. And I needed
Right.
a space where I could just be sloppy. I needed a space where I could just like experiment and try things out. And improv gave that to me in a way that I never knew was possible. So that's how I got started, and that was about 7 or 8 years ago now. Yeah.
Wow, isn't it funny how we just don't know where we're going to end up and this what can change our lives that we never expect?
hmm Yeah, and because I was visiting New York with my dad because he's a big Bette Midler fan, and she was doing a show, and he wanted to see Bette Midler's show.
Yes.
And so we went to see Bette Midler's show, and I was like, Dad, I really want to go see Kiki's show. I know it's going to be late. It's going to be like a midnight start or something like that.
Of
And
course, of course.
we went on a whim, and my dad went too, and he also just loved it, and he was like, "You should do that, doll. You should do it."
Wow.
And
So it sounds like your dad was always supportive of you, whatever you wanted to choose, and like encouraging you to do it. That's pretty unique.
yeah, I got to give my parents 5 stars for support. They were always so supportive of me being in the arts. They were like, "You're talented. You're amazing. We love you. Your life is going to be really hard, but you can do it." They were realistic about it, but they never were like, "Don't you want to be an accountant?" They never said anything like that to me.
Wow.
They
I
were
mean,
really incredible.
I also had very supportive parents. So when I would be in a room of like actors or improvisers who would talk about, oh, their parents don't understand and they can't, they don't tell their parents. I'm like, well, I was lucky in the sense that my parents just said, whatever you want to do, be the best you can be and enjoy it. My dad once was like, I don't care if you dig ditches. If you enjoy it, just try it and do the best you can at it. So I felt really fortunate growing up that I did have supportive parents.
Yeah, yeah. I feel so, so lucky because similarly, I know a lot of people who are in the arts, who are in music, who just didn't have that. And, my dad texts me almost weekly to be like, "When do you have a show again?"
Really?
Yeah. He's like,
Oh,
"I want to come see you do a show." And I'm like, "Oh,
oh.
you're the sweetest." You're really
No, I remember my dad would drive. Oh my goodness, my dad would drive an hour plus to see my shows when I was first starting off. And I asked him once, I go, Dad, what'd you think of the show? And he goes, I've seen it before. And I'm like, no, you haven't. It's improvised. But he would still come out. He's like, he still enjoyed it. He still laughed. He would shout out. The first show I ever did was a student graduation show. And I played, there was one scene we were doing like a recreation, a day in the life, and somebody went fishing. And so I came out during the scene and I was a fish and my friend caught me and it was like super fun. But then like for a year, whenever my dad would come to the show, we'd ask for a suggestion. He'd be like, do the fish thing again. And it's like, Dad, I can't. But he
Hey,
was,
Dad, one
I
time. It's a one time only.
the one-time deal, but he was just so he and my mom both were like, yeah, that's fine. Like, just do what you want to do, be happy, be nice to other people. Like I was pretty lucky with that.
Yeah, yeah, I feel so fortunate. My mom is just as supportive. They both have just always been very gung ho about whatever I was into. So really lucky.
And I do notice you have a musicality about your play. Like we've never played before, but playing with you now, it's like, oh, you definitely have a musicality to how you even just how you say things.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that makes me feel good.
What is this thing that you are doing in March? Because you're embarking on something that's pretty unique. So what is that?
Yeah, so regularly I'm a teacher at the Hideout here in Austin, which is where I live. And I teach regularly, I coach regularly, but I decided I just wanted to play with a bunch of people, as
Yeah.
many people as I could play with. So March, I was like, you know what? In March, I'm just gonna focus on playing as much as I can. So teaching doesn't count. Teaching doesn't count as applying to the 31 days of improv.
Yep.
So I'm doing 31 days in which I play with a new team or a new jam or a new anything every day. And that can be in a rehearsal, that can be in a show, it can be a jam, it can be anything, but it has to be something every single day. And I've got so many wonderful people lined up that I'm excited about, and still a couple days that are sort of floating, and some jams that I'm pumped for. And yeah, and I've even been super touched because people have been so generous about reaching out to me and being like, "We saw your thing, want to come?" And they're like complete
Yeah.
strangers, excuse me. And I just feel very moved by the open arms that I've been met with. It's just really touching.
Isn't
Our
it?
community is great.
It's crazy, and it's all over the world too. And the ease to do this, you could have, I guess, done it before in Austin. It's a huge, thriving improv scene, but you like the to travel to different stages and try to do it, it's pretty overwhelming. But now you can just turn on the computer, meet in a Zoom room, and go and give yourself that permission, not permission, but when you become a teacher or director, you get in that position. A lot of times people forget to ask you to play, and you're like, no, please, I still want to play. That's why I'm doing this. I got into this to play. So taking a month to just focus on playing again is that's amazing.
Yeah, it sort of it sparked because I was thinking about the past year and how little playing I'd been doing, and the last time I felt like I had an improv breakthrough, and I don't know if you feel like that about your own improv journey, where it's just like you'll go and go and go and then have a breakthrough and like level up, and then go and go and go and then have a breakthrough and then level up. That's how my improv journey feels. It never felt like this. It felt like it felt like
That's
this.
perfect. Yep.
Yeah. So the last time I felt like that level up moment was in 2019. I did the Hideout Theatre does this thing called the 48-hour marathon,
Hmm.
and it has 8 core players that play for 48 hours, and each hour is a new show. And that they that a different team from the community comes in and sort of like takes them through their show, and it's incredible. And in 2019, I was one of the 8, and after 48 hours of nonstop play, you walk out just thinking, I have been on a ride. I am so grateful. What an experience. I feel like I played with everyone in my community,
Yes.
or played with a lot of my community and people I would have never gotten to play with. And I wanted to recreate something, or create something similar to that experience where I felt like I'm I'm reaching into communities that normally would not be, available to me because of distance or just
Yeah.
time or whatever. So yeah, that's sort of what it's about. Yeah.
That is so cool. And I think the idea of having like a 48-hour thing or what you're doing now, where it's like every day playing with someone different, I think that is so much more valuable than like sometimes these communities we put on like tournaments where it's like a competition thing to try and raise awareness or connect with people. We try and do the same thing, but I feel like that level of competition always takes away from it a little bit because there's a winner and loser. And so there's always a little bit of like disappointment. Whereas if we can create this environment where, oh, we're just going to jam together, that I think goes so much farther than a situation of a binary winner loser kind of thing.
Yeah, I also too just feel like I learned so much just from the way other people play. Because,
Yes.
like I've only ever studied and played formally in Austin,
Mm.
and you, as I'm sure you know, like even across the United States, things are super different and schools are super different, even within the same city. And to be able to play with people in Europe or Canada or Mexico or wherever, it's just different every place. And so it's such a like inspiring and eye-opening experience to be undergoing, and I'm super grateful.
Yeah, and what I think you'll experience, or at least I have, is you get in a situation where you're playing with people from different parts of the world or the country, and you're like, oh, you play status. Like you don't like think about it till afterwards, but during the moment you notice, oh, you're playing status, or you play relationship, or you play game. And then you've got those tools, and you whether you know you do or not, you're able to jump along and play, and then you can reflect back and say, wow, that was a real, we shifted status a couple of times, that was really cool. Or we did a silent scene for 10 minutes, that was scary but super cool. Or we played short fast game, that was really cool. So I feel like this has allowed me to kind of hold on and like, all right, here we go, not knowing where we're going to go, which is the most exciting thing to me right now. Because you can get to a point where you're like, cool, I know what I'm like in this group, I know what my role is in this group, and we do this show really well. The show we're doing, we do that very well. I know what I'm going to do. But it's not as challenging as I found these scenes to be like, hey, I know we've never met, you ready to go do 10 minutes? It could go terribly wrong, let's see what happens.
Yeah. And have you felt that similar? I mean, I don't know how you feel about your improv journey where you're on, but like uh with having done all of these 10-minute things, do you feel a shift in your own play? I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. To me, I feel like I'm playing more like when I first started out, what I loved about improv, which is, oh, what's your thing? Let
Yeah.
me help you with your thing. Like, and I felt like that is what attracted me to improv in the beginning was, let's work on this thing together. And you're going to sing? Great. I'll sing with you. Like I felt that more than recently. I probably have felt more like, oh, I'm not going to rely on that other person as much. We'll still create it together. But
Mhm.
in this case now, I'm like, I'm okay sitting at the top of a scene, not leading or doing anything, and then hopping on. So it is more a return back to what I really enjoy about improv. And then you go, oh, how, it's like animals meeting for the first time. You kind of sniff each other out, and you're like, okay, what do you want? And right away with you, you're like, I like relationship. Like you right away were like relationship, and I'm like, cool, relationship, that's what we're gonna do. And then other people, it's like, oh, we're doing game, great, let's hit that game real quick. So for me, I like not knowing what we're going to do, but being able to recognize it and then hop on and play. And then at the end, it's like, wow, I've got this new friend. If I haven't met the person before, it's like, wow, I feel like I'm now connected with them, which is, to me, the whole point of improv is not like what show I'm going to do or who I'm what group I'm in or what theater. To me, it's like, oh, what are these interesting people? And now we get to meet them all over the world. And that is the most exciting thing. That's what I love the most about doing these 10-minute things is like, oh, I get to meet people from all over the globe. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so incredible. What a strange way to, like spend this past year. I know like it's been so much hardship and so much grief for so many
Yeah.
for so many in our community, but there's also been these little snippets of hope and light and connectedness that are really really nice to see, instead of it just being an abyss of sad.
Which, I mean, you're right on like that term of there's a little bit of light in this dark time. And like, when you get experience, it goes in waves for sure. It's like there will be times where you go, I can do no wrong on this improv stage. And then there are times where you're like, I cannot do anything right. And you kind of go like this and you go up and down. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. And that's what I'm learning. It's reinforced. It's like, it doesn't matter. What matters is, can you bring a little joy to people? Can you have like, whether it's the scene makes somebody giggle or the conversation afterwards sparks something in somebody where they go, oh, the way that they put that, I'm going to use that for the rest of my journey. Like, to me, that's the silver lining in all of this is like, hey, if it's like a quick break from your life and you can learn something or laugh or smile or something like that, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, and even you talking about the moments of joy for the audience, but even the moment of joy for your partner. Like I felt very joyful during this experience with you, and so it was a moment of light for me, and I appreciate that.
Oh, yay. And I appreciate it from you as well. I was like, from the start, it was super fun just to say hi and go, hey, we've orbited each other for a while. I'm excited to play with you. And then it was just like, oh, that scene could have gone on forever because it was just so much fun. So thank you.
Yeah, Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
It was a blast. And if people want to connect with you,
Mhm.
what's the best way, like follow you on Facebook or Instagram, or like what's the best way people can reach out to you?
Ooh, they can follow me on Facebook. My name's Megan Sherrod. They can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Megan Sings ATX. And sometimes I post videos of me playing the piano very mediocrely, but singing better than mediocrely. And then I also just have a website. That's my name. That's megansherrod.com. So
Oh, well, thank you again so much. And whether it's in person or virtually, I can't wait to play with you again, Megan. Thank you.
thank you so much.
All right. Good luck with the rest of the month.
I I am so excited for it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.